It's big dog season, and you can't stay still because you want it. Talk that talk, George. You still scraping your plate because you're hungry. Talk that talk.
Good morning. Today is Wednesday, July 24th. The year is 2024. It's about 9:30 in the morning. The dogs are not out yet. They're still in their cages. I got up early and had to take the trash out. When I came home from the gym last night, it was pouring down rain. And it rained for hours, so I couldn't take the trash out last night, so I had to jump up this morning and take all the trash down to the curb. A big old pile of trash down there. The city's supposed to be picking up. Hopefully they get it this week. Yesterday in Atlanta, a tragic event happened at the intersection of Boulevard and John Wesley Dobbs. If you're familiar with Atlanta, that's Old 44 right off you getting off of the I forget the name of that highway, the exit. There's an exit right there off Boulevard. Jimmy Carter, something is called, but it's right there off Boulevard in Old 44 near the King Center. John Wesley Dobbs, a historic street. Local entrepreneur who was only 33 years of age was shot and killed while driving in his Rolls Royce. That's probably a $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 car, something like that. Who knows? He was shot and killed. He owned a restaurant. He's the owner of a restaurant up in Buckhead called the Crab Boil in Buckhead. I've seen that restaurant 1,000 times. What was of particular interest to me about this young man? It was that a few years back he opened up the Crab Boil. And he was all over the news because he did $8 million in sales the first year that he opened this restaurant. I've always driven by there and seen crowds of people, crowds of cars, people hanging out, and crowds of people, crowds of cars, yeah, and with crowds of people, crowds of cars, all of the countertop. Crowds of people outside and crowds. I have to put this phone on mute. That restaurant, he opened up several other restaurants because of his success, and he went and opened up another restaurant with the baby, which is a little rapper. Not sure what exactly happened with the that restaurant that he opened with the baby. I don't know if it's still open or not. I guess it could be still open. Let's see. He was, what was the name of that damn restaurant? It was called, I'm looking for, I'm trying to go back. I saved this link, and I don't know what's going on with this phone. Where'd it go? There it is. What is this boy's name? Let me go over here. I know what I need to do. I sent the link to somebody, and there it is. Nope, that's not it. What's going on with my damn phone? So the guy's name was Chad Dillon. He used to rent out cars. He said he went from renting out cars. He was in Ebony magazine. He went from renting out cars to co-owning a restaurant with the rapper Lil Baby. He was the first black-owned seafood restaurant in the city during the pandemic, and went on to make $8 million in sales that year. So he opened his first restaurant. It had to be like 2020. He opened the restaurant, and he went on to make, what was that? Hold on a second. I think somebody's here in the house. Thought the workers were here. You're not here though. But anyway, he made it. Okay. So he was shot and killed. He was only 33 years of age. Made $8 million. Had a successful business. They interviewed him in Ebony magazine. His name was Chad Dillon. He was shot and killed yesterday. Shot a bunch of times in his car as he was driving down Boulevard in Old Fourth Ward. Atlanta is a very dangerous place. I've always said this to people. You got a lot of haters. You got a lot of jealous people here. You got a lot of envious people here. For some reason, this man was targeted. Somebody wanted him dead, and they were successful in doing so. A successful entrepreneur with several restaurants that supposedly are doing well. I'm assuming all his restaurants are still open and doing well. You have to wonder what took place that somebody decided to kill him. Bad business? Did something go wrong? I don't know. I know his restaurants are still open. I remember reading a few reviews about his restaurants. But Atlanta's filled with a lot of jealous, hateful people. And if you're having success, you better be very careful who you bring into your inner circle. You got to be very careful of stuff that you do. I mean, if that's accurate that he did $8 million in sales, that's a lot of business that restaurant did in 12 months. And when this was first reported a few years back, I remember asking people who I know in the restaurant industry, that I can remember asking them, saying, how did this man, is it possible that this is accurate, that he did $8 million in sales? And I remember one of my friends who owns restaurants said, man, that's what the ESPN zone was making a year of their restaurant. So how was he able to pull them numbers off at that spot where he was? And they had that massive 2-story spot on Peachtree Street, and that's what they were pulling in at the ESPN zone. So I was like, that is rather interesting. Could this have been drug affiliated? I mean, could there have been drugs involved in this? And I'm going to have to pause this for 1 second because something just happened on my computer and I don't understand. I want to make sure this is saving this. Yeah, so even I want to make sure that was recording. But like I was saying, this man's restaurant supposedly did $8 million in sales. He was basically a millionaire, basically, if he did that much with that in sales. Man, what was his profits? I'm hoping he made a profit on it. But it just seemed, there are some questions in my head. Because this man was shot and killed. And I've always had a few questions about, because this was big news here. This man opened up this restaurant, had all this success, and did all his money in his millions and millions of dollars worth of crab boil sales. I don't eat shellfish, and every time I would drive by the place, the parking lot was kind of small, but it was always packed. People would park across the street behind the Longhorn Steakhouse and then walk across a very busy intersection to get over there. Got to cross Piedmont Road, almost get killed trying to cross that damn street, so I always wondered, was this accurate? Or was there something else going on? This man's death, he was shot and killed yesterday around 4:30, 4 o'clock, somewhere between 4 and 5 o'clock. At a very busy intersection, maybe a little bit before 4 o'clock, 3, somewhere up in there. If y'all know that intersection I'm talking about with Boulevard and John Wesley Dobbs near the King Center, and this is a very busy intersection. Thousands of cars going through that intersection. He got shot right there in that intersection. So everybody saw something going on, saw that man get shot. This was a hit. Somebody wanted him dead. So you have to wonder what was going on. I mean, why would they want a restaurant owner dead like this unless he owes somebody some money? It's always about money, 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 money. Something that happened. Something took place. He either owed somebody some money or he ran off with somebody's money. And it could just be jealous and envy of somebody, some jealous and envy. Maybe he wasn't robbed, though. Everybody said they made that clear. Nobody took nothing from the car. He was shot and killed, though. It looks like it was a professional hit. People need to be very careful who they get in business with here in Atlanta. I've had people approach me, multiple people approach me, also, let's open a gym, let's open a gym, let's open a gym, open a gym. I said, okay, that sounds like a good idea. When I get the money together, I will open up a gym by myself. I'm not going in business with anybody to open up no damn gym. A couple reasons why. Atlanta, and this I'm just speaking about what's going on here in Atlanta. Atlanta is a drug town. A lot of people don't know this. There's a lot of drugs going through the city. A lot of drugs going through the city. You got a lot of players in this city who are involved in this drug game, and y'all may see these people and they think they own regular businesses, all types of businesses, from hair salons to salon suites to restaurants to wing shops to seafood boil places. And drug money's got to be washed somewhere. Through a hookah lounge. I mean, there's so many different ways that drug money could be washed. And I'm not saying that this man who was killed was involved in drugs in any way whatsoever, because I don't know nothing about this man. All I'm saying is that I have been approached by some various people about opening up various businesses, and they wouldn't talk about getting the money alone from Bank of America. And I said, no thank you, because I already knew how this shit could end. It ain't working for me. This man was young. He was only 33 years of age. So when he first started that boy restaurant, he was go back, 4 years? He was 28, 29 years of age. I think he said he started 6 years ago, something like that. I need to read the article again. He was in his late 20s when he started. He was very young. Where did he get the money from? To get this restaurant established, to buy that space, to rent that space up there in Buckhead. I have some questions. But all my questions that I've had for a little bit of time about this individual, and I do not know this man, and I want everybody to have success, but all my questions got answered yesterday at 4:30 when that man was shot dead. I said, okay. Sort of got answered, because I still got some questions. But the vast majority of my questions got answered yesterday when that man was shot dead. Because everybody has come to me with these successful entrepreneur stories, and they sit right here in my kitchen and say, well, so-and-so did this and so-and-so did that, and they doing great, and they doing this, and I sit here and drink my coffee and say, oh, that's nice to hear, okay. See, I've been in Atlanta for a long time. I've been in Atlanta for 30-something odd years. A person shows up in Atlanta, ain't been here for a few years, and they open up a successful restaurant that does $8 million in sales in 12 months. $8 million in 12 months. And I got friends who got all kinds of beautiful, nice restaurants over here, and they ain't did nothing like that. And they are well known throughout the city. They have multiple locations, multiple restaurants, and they ain't did that type of business. This man, at one restaurant he opened, he did $8 million in 12 months. Come on, y'all. I don't know this man. I'm not making any accusations. I just have some questions. But I think my questions got answered yesterday at 4 o'clock when that nigga was shot dead. I could be wrong. You know, it could have been just a tragic event that took place. I'm just giving my. I mean, he could have been just he might have accidentally, almost, it could have just been road rage. Somebody mad because he in his expensive ass car. Could have been a lot of stuff. I just find it kind of odd that a successful entrepreneur who owns multiple restaurants was driving a $500,000 car, a Rolls Royce, down the street in the middle of the day, and he was shot dead. And they didn't take nothing from that car. They didn't steal nothing. They didn't take his wallet. They didn't even try to take the car. I find that very odd. Now, I could be wrong. Like I say, maybe it's just because I don't know, y'all. But I've had a lot of people approach me about doing stuff here in Atlanta. A lot of stuff have approached me about opening up businesses, opening up gyms. Let's do this, let's do that. I politely declined all of them because show me the money. Are we putting a business plan together, an LLC, and we're going to get a loan from the bank? No, I got the cash. Then what do you need me for? You have the cash to open up a business. Oh man, but you got the expertise. Okay, but I don't have that type of cash that you got. You got a large lump something that because you're going to be controlling the place. What do you need me for? Something ain't right here. I ain't no fool. You want me to front the place. Why you want me? Oh, because I have a social media presence. I know people and I know this and I can bring in the crowds of people. Okay, I get it. Let me get my funds together. Let's do this the right way. You see, I know that money is funny in this town. And if you open up a restaurant and use somebody else's money and things don't go quite the way you plan on, you don't do them $8 million in sales like everybody was saying. You don't do $8 million in sales. Okay, here we go. Something gonna happen to your ass. I don't know if y'all remember this story a little while back, but these two men in East Point showed up missing. They had a print shop. And they showed up missing and they found him dead months later. Never was able to find out what happened to them. What caused them guys to get killed that they had this damn print shop. They never was able to find out what happened to these individuals who had this print shop who was shot and killed. They never found out. They were business owners. They owned a print shop, printing, I don't know, like business cards and all kinds of stuff. Then there was another incident when these people were shot and killed in the back of this truck up in Kennesaw. They were in the middle of a drug transaction. They drove down here to Atlanta to buy some drugs. The guys who were selling the drugs decided to kill them and take their money. And they were trying to hide the bodies, and somehow another person drove up to a golf course in the middle of a golf course up in Kennesaw. There's some craziness, people crazy in this town. Be careful who you do business with is what I'm just trying to say about this video. Everything is not what you think it is. I see these guys, they come around, they tell me they doing this and they doing that. I just shake my head and say, that sounds very interesting. All right, I'll see you later. We hanging out, we going here, we doing that. No, y'all hanging out. I'm not going to hang out with y'all. Because in the process of somebody trying to kill your ass, I end up dead. I'm just an innocent bystander, don't even know what the fuck you up to. Be careful. Atlanta ain't what it seems it is. And some of y'all are very, 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 very naive about what goes on in this town. I guess because I'm 54 years of age and I've been in since a teenager, I know what happens in this city. I know what happens to that tow cars case when they had them nightclubs and they was running dope through them clubs. I know about all these different places that happen here, things that happen here in Atlanta. There was always drugs involved, and it ended up with somebody dead because the money ended up missing. There's a friend of mine years ago named David Hampton. He ran this club called Tracks here in Atlanta. People used to think we were brothers. We were not related. David Hampton ended up dead with his hands cut off, set a fire, and he had a brand new Lincoln Navigator. They found him on fire in that Navigator in a pet cemetery. He owned a nightclub. He was taking the dope money from the club. He would take the money. He was taking in folks' money. He took their money. Something didn't work out. You shouldn't have showed up dead with your hands cut off and on fire in some dam. And I knew David very well. And that happened in 1998. I'll never forget that because I turned on the news and I saw that Didn't think much about it. They know that is David Hampton. Ain't that your brother, cousin? I said I don't know why y'all keep saying to me related. I was not related to David Hampton. People just assumed we looked similar, but I was not related to this man. Anyway, I just thought this was a very interesting story. You all can look up Chad Dillon's situation. I don't know what took place there, but I don't know the man was shot and killed. A very successful entrepreneur. Something's kind of weird for a successful entrepreneur. It's a very, very successful entrepreneur to be shot and killed while driving down a busy Atlanta street, who owned multiple restaurants and even did one with a well-known rapper. Who would want him dead? And for what reason? Be careful out here, that's all I got to say, y'all. Be careful who you do business with. Be careful who you're around. Know the people that you're doing business with, and be careful the business that you're doing. You know, like I know. Today is Wednesday, July 24th. The year is 2024. I'm out of here, and prayerfully this video took. We're about to find out when I hit this button. I'll see y'all later. Bye. Let's see. Did it take? Yes or no?